welcome back everyone. I'm back at Salisbury Plain again. This time I'm hopeful to try and photograph some short-eared owls. I haven't had to come too far. You can see my car just there. I'm set up, I spin you around behind a tree, which with some camo on, I will hopefully blend in a little bit a bit easier. I'm getting a bit worried because we're down to the final weekend in February, and I've not yet seen any short-eared owls this winter at all, and I don't really want to miss the chance to photograph them before they migrate back to Scotland and Russia and Norway and places like that. So hopefully we'll be lucky. Yeah, it's quite busy on Salisbury Plain today. I'm hopeful that the area I'm at won't be too busy in terms of military activity, because obviously that doesn't help me from a wildlife perspective, and also of course I don't want to get in their way or anything like that. There's no red flags flying in this area, so I don't think I'm anywhere that I shouldn't be. So fingers crossed we'll get lucky and get some good wildlife photography today. And here we have what looks like an old grenade. Presumably a smoke grenade. I don't know my weapons, so sorry if I'm stating the obvious or I've got it wrong, but I think that's a used smoke grenade somehow stuck to a tree. Right, so I'm going to start as I mean to go on, which is get a cup of coffee in straight away. See if I can get the action started earlier. Also, it's bloody cold and windy, really windy and cold, so it's another good reason to have a cup of coffee in. Excellent. Damn this wind, it is so windy. Not feeling confident. You won't make it out on camera, but there's a red kite soaring behind me in the sky, and above that a buzzard even higher. Red kite's currently being mobbed by crows. Other species I could see around here are also Hen Harriers. I have seen them around here. I won't put any record shots up that I had before though, because as with most of my Harrier shots, they're pretty damn terrible. But I've definitely seen them here before. And road here as well. It's a different area of Salisbury Plain than I often come to, but I have had success here in the past at this particular location, so fingers crossed I will do today. Just a case of sticking it out, hoping the wind dies down, and that ideally the rain holds off as well. Right, it's so cold. I'm going to have to change my hat for a warmer one. I like this hat because it blends in well with the trees, but it needs must. I've got to keep warm. So time to switch to a new hat. Right, there we go. New hat. Instantly warmer. Right, let me try and talk you through the settings for the day. So we've got a shutter speed of 1,250th of a second. I'm wide open at f6.3. I'm overexposing by 1 stop and a third. That's because I'm presuming that I'm going to be shooting birds into the sky at the moment. And obviously I'm on high speed silent shutter, which is 20 frames a second, shooting in RAW. So yeah, that's my setup, on the assumption that also ISO as well, on the assumption that I'll be shooting birds into the sky. Red kite. Right, I'm pretty sure I've just seen a Hen Harrier. It very briefly came up from long grass, flew a very short distance and landed. I can't be completely sure. It's just the shape of it, the size of it. Makes me think it was. Oh, is it back again? What's that? What's that? Yeah, I think I've got a Hen Harrier. Right, well that's the result. Just in a Hen Harrier, definitely a Hen Harrier, and I've got some shots which are good enough to identify as a Hen Harrier. Female ringtail, quartering low over the field. It's the first time I've actually seen a Hen Harrier properly quarter a field. Usually when I see them, they're coming through low at 100 miles an hour from point A to B on a commute, so it was nice to just watch. Shots are very, very distant, not clear shots at all, really. Of course they're not clear shots. It's me and I'm trying to photograph Harriers. I never get clear shots of a Harrier, but I'm just pleased to at least have seen one. And I just have to, fingers crossed, hope that it shows itself again, maybe comes a little bit closer alongside, hopefully, a shorted owl. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? But anyway, we'll see what happens. I might even have another cup of coffee for luck. Right, I told you a cup of coffee would make a difference, didn't I? I've just had a really, fairly close by overhead flight shot from a couple of red kites and a buzzard as well, all in a short space of time, just as I was about to make a cup of coffee. So, moral of the story, when it's quiet, nothing's happening, and you want to make some action happen, pour yourself a cup of coffee. It's almost a guaranteed winner. Right, just mulling putting on a teleconverter. In fact, I think I might do, actually. If I just spin around and show you the scene again, right behind me, and you'll see the tree I'm sheltered against for a bit of cover. Spin round, you can see how vast this place is, and it really is. I mean, don't get me wrong, I've had birds fly over my head at this very location beforehand, and I've got some nice close-up shots. That's one of the benefits of sheltering near a tree for at least some cover. But overall, it's a bit of a stab in the dark, really, in terms of when you're going to get close-up shots here. So I think I'm going to try the teleconverter and see what happens. I really don't like using it. It does slow the focusing down so much, but I think it's worth a stab. When the light drops, and I think the owl's going to come out closer towards the evening, then I will take it off, because I'm going to need all the focusing and light I can have. Right, we've got a tank coming by, so I might as well film it. And we've got a bird of prey in the sky as well. Tank or bird of prey? What bird of prey is that? Let's have a look. That is... it's a bloody Harrier. Right, well, sod's law that Hen Harrier decided to fly over just at the same time a tank turned up. So I started to film the tank, and then I clocked this bird of prey in the sky. And I thought, can't see what it is, but I better get some binoculars on it. So I had a look, and it was a Hen Harrier. I managed to get a few shots. It, again, was so far away, but the shots did come, I think, pretty clear, really. And to be fair, I wouldn't have got those shots without the teleconverter. So I'm going to pop one or two of them on the screen now, if they're any good. But anyway, that's twice I've seen a Hen Harrier today. Both times female ringtail. I'm presuming it's the same bird, but obviously I would never know. Right, well, there's tanks everywhere now, all angles really, every few minutes. It's gone 3 o'clock, I think. Let's have a look. Yeah, 20 past 3. I would have about an hour and a half, just over, probably of photography daylight left, I guess. Too late really to go anywhere. On this hour, by the time I packed up and driven somewhere else, the tank's covering quite vast distances quite quickly, so it's no good just going a few fields away or a mile away or whatever. I think I'd have to drive to a completely different location on Salisbury Plain or off of Salisbury Plain full stop, so not enough hours left in the daylight in the day, unfortunately. Never mind. I mean, it's quite entertaining to watch. It's not like I'm certainly not bored watching it, but I'm not sure how comfortable they are with being filmed. They have seen me and they have waved to me as they've gone by, so I presume if I was doing anything wrong or somewhere where I wasn't supposed to be, then they would stop me and tell me accordingly. So, but no one has, so I think everything's fine. Still got a good feeling. The rain stopped, which is good and crucial for owls. The wind's died down, although it does have its gusts every now and again, and the light's improved ever so slightly. I still think the shots are going to come out pretty ropey. if an owl does show, but it'd be just nice to at least see one, kind of work out its flight pattern, or even better, actually have that hen harrier come back right across in front of me, so I get a nice, clear, sharp shot. But yeah, not too hopeful on the latter one. Anyway, we'll keep our fingers crossed, eh? Harrier's back. Harrier's back. Harrier's back. There it is. There it is. Steady as I film this, Harrier came back. Right in the distance, across my path, right in the distance, across the horizon, but just too far out, too low to the ground to get any shots really. Damn it, but nice to see. Presumably it's the same bird. I don't know. It's a female again, so if it is the same bird, then I've seen that would be 3 or 4, I think, times today. It's definitely 3, but possibly 4. On the plus side, I think I've kind of worked out a bit of a hunting pattern that it's got. So I'm going to save that knowledge and then try and potentially reposition myself next time in a place where I hope I'm able to get closer shots. I'm still scanning the scene now as I talk to you because there's every chance it'll loop round, come back again. But I tend to see it fly by, I don't know, once every 40 minutes or so. It's definitely hunting. It's not travelling fast. It's quartering. It's hunting. Right. Well, I'm chuffed to bits with that. Hen Harrier again. This time a male. It's gone through. I've got some shots which I'll try and find 1 or 2 on the screen for you. Again, not close, unfortunately, but clearly identifiable as a hen harrier and a male. I did originally actually think it was an owl. It was clearly hunting the field rather than coming along at 100 miles an hour. So nice to know that there's at least 2 hen harriers here, a male and a female. Right, well, finally, I've got some clear, I'd say sharp shots of a hen harrier, female hen harrier. Still at a distance, unfortunately. We're not talking frame-filling shots like I've got with the barn owls, but definitely my best hen harrier shots today, I think. At least judging by what I can see on the back of the camera. So I'm really pleased with that. That's great progress, really. We've still got a little bit of light left, so there's still more time. I mean, these hen harriers really have been the stars of the show today. But they are very much on my bucket list, so I'm more than happy to be taking pictures of hen harriers instead of shorted owls. Welcome back, everyone. It's a week later than you last saw me. I've decided to try and use the learnings of last week in terms of where the hen harriers' flight patterns were and reposition myself. There's not much in terms of what I can do for cover here, so I'm trying to use the car as a hide. I'm really not a fan of this type of setup, really shooting from the car as a hide. I've got a beanbag out of the driver's window and R6 on a Sigma 150 to 600mm lens. The sun is coming from that direction, so what I don't want to do is shoot in towards the sun. It's already a grey day anyway. I don't really want to have to overexpose. I'm sort of reliant on shooting where the sun is going to light the subject. I'm hopeful that the Harriers will literally fly pretty much right in front of the car, backwards and forwards. Whether that's going to happen or not, I don't know. They were certainly doing that last week, but hey, it's wildlife. You never know what's going to happen. I'm probably going to stay like this for a couple of hours, see how it goes. And if it doesn't really work out, then I may well park the car up and go on foot somewhere, perhaps. I'm quite keen to avoid using a tripod today because I think it's quite restrictive, especially for owls and harriers, and generally for birds of prey. Whenever I can, I do like to actually go handheld, as long as there's suitable cover. So Well, yeah, well, we'll see what happens, and fingers crossed we'll get some luck. All right, okay, so I'm off the mark already with a red kite from the car. I did have to shoot in towards where the sun was coming from, unfortunately. But yeah, it's not too bad. I'll put it on screen now for you. Settings are 12/50th of a second, f6.3, overexposing by 1 stop and 2/3 because of the grade A. Even then, I don't think that's actually quite enough. I think I'm going to have to bring the exposure up a little bit in Lightroom in post-processing. ISO ends up being ISO 800. I am shooting in auto ISO. Unfortunately, as with most of the shots today, I think they're going to be pretty grey in terms of a background. Nothing really exciting. I mean, ideally, I like a bit of cloud just to kind of bring a bit of mood into the picture, but not today. I think we've got a strong middle grey background. Unfortunately, I'm not really one for Photoshop sky replacements. I'm not sure whether I agree with them or not. I'm still working that one out, so I don't do them myself. But so I'm not against anyone that does, as long as they let people know, of course. Okay, I've moved, come back to the same place that I was last week. I spent a good couple of hours at the previous place with a beanbag out of the window, kestrel, buzzard, and that's about it from there so far. I didn't really see anything else of interest. Had a quick drive round, saw a dunnock which posed for me quite nicely for a good minute or so. Managed to rattle off a few shots there. I'll put one on screen now for you. And yeah, back to the same place as last week. I just sort of feel a bit more comfortable here, I guess. I like the fact that I can get out of the car, and there's my usual tree that I hunker down against, which is dress up warm because it's a bit chilly out there at the moment. And I think really, I mean, difficult to say, but I mean, this place is so vast. It's like a needle in a haystack at times, really. It really is. I've had shots here before. And I guess that gives me the confidence to come back. Oh, right, I'm just going to go and get myself camered up and set up back at the usual tree. Right, we've got a barn owl. I've not seen a barn owl here before. It's some distance away. It's being mobbed by crows. In fact, I saw the crows mobbing something first, but I couldn't work out what it was. But through some binoculars, I was able to identify it as a barn owl. I mean, it's a great habitat for them to hunt in. I'm just wondering whether it's worth trying to photograph it or... No, you know what? I'm not. I'm going to stay here. I'm going to stay focused for Hen Harriers and short owls. If the barn owl happens to come over here of its own accord right in front of me, of course I'll take some shots. For two reasons. Number one, I don't like going chasing wildlife anyway. I like them to come to me. That's why I tend to park up against a tree or hedgerow and try and disguise myself so that they can fly around me a lot closer and a lot less disturbed. Helps me get closer shots too. And number two, I think there's only one video so far of mine that hasn't had a barn owl in it, so I'm sure you're going to get a bit fed up with them if I keep showing you photographs of barn owls. In fact, actually, believe it or not, of the, I'm going to say, 7 attempts I've made to film videos so far. You haven't seen all of them because I've abandoned things that weren't quite successful, but of the 7 attempts, 5, I've come across a barn owl that I wasn't expecting. There you go. Right, it's just gone 5 o'clock. I think I need to face the facts. I'm losing the light. That's obviously not going to improve because, first of all, it's time of day, it's gone 5 o'clock. And secondly, looking at the clouds behind me, they don't look like there's anything on the horizon that's better than what I've got now. The wind is coming from behind me. So I'm going to start to pack up. Right, scrap that. I was just putting the camera gear away And right behind me, a shorted owl flies by. I managed to get back, grab my camera. I've got some really, really distant shots. You can identify what it is through the photographs, but they are horrendous. I'm probably not going to bother editing those pictures because they are so blurry and grainy. You'll just have to trust me. But my first shorted owl of this winter. So very nice to see they're here. Hunting pretty much the same area as they used to, so that's good. In fact, shorted owl's back. Let's stay here and see what happens. It's so dark. It's quite far away still, so I'm gonna have to break every rule in the book for shutter speeds to try and get a capture, but I'll see what I can do. I think I'm gonna have to try a teleconverter because of the distance, but thankfully because it's an owl, it's not necessarily the fastest moving bird, so maybe once I lock on, I can get a shot. Let's see what we can do. Oh, right. I'm back again. It's Sunday, so I was here yesterday and then again a week earlier. So the reason I'm back obviously is because I saw the shorted owls yesterday in the evening, and I wasn't able to get the close-up shots that I was hoping for. I want to stick with it whilst they're still around. Obviously time's running out given that we're into March now. First sighting of them this year. So I thought, let's make the most of it. So I've got a few hours this afternoon. I've got until sunset, so that's good. Change of tactic, really. I'm going to try and walk around with a backpack. It's brutally cold. I don't know what the temperature is right now, but if someone said it was 2 degrees outside, I wouldn't dispute it. Okay, so I'm just going to lay up here for a bit in the long grass on the edge. I've got some shrubbery behind me for shelter in terms of hiding my silhouette. Just panning across now to show the landscape. Bird of prey in the sky already. Probably can't see that. I think that might be the red kite that I took earlier on. Yeah, it's a red kite. It's coming over this way, so I'm going to go and take a few more shots. Anyway, shorted owl was hunting in this area here in front of me yesterday, so hopefully they'll come back later on. Yeah, I better film something before I forget, like last time. I hope you can just about see me. I'm using the car for lighting. It's gone 6 o'clock. I've had a really good day, actually, or afternoon it was, just a few hours. The shorted owls that I saw yesterday, I haven't seen any myself, unfortunately, today. Did see a fleeting glimpse of a hen harrier at the final hour. Too dark for pictures or video, unfortunately. And what did I say earlier on about barn owls? Every time I go to try and get some different content, I seem to come across a barn owl. Now, in this particular location, I've never ever come across a barn owl at all before. So I'm actually, I had a fleeting glimpse yesterday, as you may have seen earlier on in the video. So I'm absolutely astounded I've got a barn owl. So I do have a little bit of footage, which you would have seen earlier on. Yeah, I mean, look, I would love to give you some more varied content, but with wildlife photography, it is what it is. Obviously, I'll take whatever wildlife comes along. On a personal note, I'm always chuffed to bits to see a barn owl, even if even if I'm not able to get close-up stills or close-up video. I really do enjoy watching them hunt, and I'm happy only just having had the opportunity to do so. Okay, welcome back everyone. It's another week later, back at Salisbury Plain, still trying to photograph either hen harriers or short-eared owls. I think they say anything worthwhile in life isn't easy, so hopefully I'll get some good pictures. Certainly this isn't easy. It's easy enough to spot them from a distance. It's quite another to get close enough to get some close-up the photos, especially as the area is so vast, really. But nevertheless, I'm going to keep pursuing, and hopefully we'll get lucky today. Right, third time lucky filming this. I'm sheltering underneath my car boot lid, hopefully to keep the wind noise out of the microphone and also to stop me getting too wet. Just had a couple of nice shots of a Hen Harrier hunting and watering the field at quite some speed. They don't half hang around. Nothing close up, I'm afraid, but the pictures look fairly okay at a distance anyway, so I'm not much from there. So rain's come, so I'm going to make myself a cup of coffee, get in the car till it passes, and then hopefully we'll have a bit more luck later on with some shorted owls and maybe some more Hen Harrier shots. Oh, right, weather's turned really, really bad. Rain, cold wind, and it's just grim overall. I'm hunkered down. Luckily this stuff I'm wearing is actually pretty waterproof, so I'm fairly toasty and dry, although the wind and rain on my face is not particularly nice. My camera is waterproof cover alongside the bag, and yeah, just sat on the ground here, and that's pretty much, if I spin around, the kind of the skies and the scenery right now. Hopefully, fingers crossed, something will turn up. Right, it's grim. It's grim. The rain is hammering down. I can see quite well into the horizon in the wind direction. There's absolutely no sign of it stopping. It's just full of rain clouds. Wind's picking up as well, so it's almost like there's a storm coming on. I don't know whether there is supposed to be or not, but that's how it feels. So I think the conditions are really, from an owl perspective, have got the better of me really. I think I'm going to have to admit defeat. But that said, I've really enjoyed coming out. I always do, and hopefully better luck next time. Right, well, this I think is day, I don't know if it's day 4, 5 or 6, I've lost count. I've lost count the number of times I've come here, but yeah, another day, another attempt to get even better photographs of Hen Harrier, ideally, and hopefully some short-eared owls. Oh, I've got 3 roe deer running in front of me right now. Can you see that? I don't know if you can. Is it focusing? 1, 2, 3. Whether or not you got that, I've got no idea. They've stopped. I wonder why they're running. What spooked them? They've run straight towards me, so they can't be me. Anyway, I'm gonna get out, get set up, and fingers crossed we'll have a Hen Harrier. On the plus side, it's brighter today. The light is not so muddy, albeit it's a bit harsh because it's mere midday. There are, however, some clouds in the sky, which I think could make for some nice background shots for birds in flight. I don't like shooting birds against a dull play grey background, so fingers crossed we'll get lucky. I better get set up. Right, pretty much all set up. As you can see, I'm in pretty much my full camo gear now. I've got my buff so that if birds of prey do come, I can quickly do this for some disguise and shoot like that. I tend to only pull it up when the action starts. I will spin you around and show the camera setup. So I have, as you can see, hold that in focus there, I put the camera back on a tripod, and the reason being is because the ground's a bit wet and I don't really want to have the camera on wet soggy ground, especially as I haven't got a waterproof or weather sealed lens. So today's settings will be 0.002 of a second shutter speed to start with. I'm on a teleconverter, which is giving me f9 as a minimum aperture, so that's wide open with this teleconverter, and auto ISO. I'm currently overexposed for 1 stop and 2/3 on the assumption that I'm going to be shooting birds into the sky into what might be a bit of grey cloud. There's patchy cloud cover at the moment. The sun comes out, then it goes behind a cloud, then it comes out again. So those are my starting points, and we'll see what happens. Obviously, I'm going to probably have to reduce that shutter speed as the light fades and take the teleconverter off as the light fades, but I think I can get away with it for now. I do want the extra distance here because it is a bit of a needle in the haystack. It's such a vast area. So that's the plan, and we'll see what happens from there. I don't know if you can hear that in the background, but there's skylarks absolutely everywhere, all around me in the long grass, and they're flying up high and doing their little kind of dance, if you like, and then coming down again. would have thought that Hen Harriers right now are not going to go too hungry, given the sheer volume of skylarks. I mean, what a difference a week has made. They really are out and singing in force today. I've just got some shorted owl footage and some stills, which I'm pretty happy with. Finally, persistence has paid off. They're not quite the frame-filling shots that I'd like, but I'll take them. I have used a teleconverter, so again, they're not quite as sharp as I'd like, but they're good banker shots, so I'm pretty pleased with that. I'll put them on screen for you now. Settings for these was 1/1250 to the second, overexposed by 1 stop and 2/3. Probably a little bit overexposed, ever so slightly by a stop, so I would probably have, in hindsight, dialed that down to 1 stop and 1/3, but you know, you live and you learn. I'm now going to take this teleconverter off in the hope that the owl gets a bit closer and I can get some sharper shots. Right, okay, I think I'm going to wrap things up here, everyone. I've had a really good time across all of my days, really, filming here. I can't remember how many times I've come here to try and take pictures of shorted owls. It's really only the last few times or a couple of times when they've shown themselves. But you know, I've some really good species. So red kites, buzzards, kestrels, barn owls, hen harriers, shorted owls. Of course, I've seen a roe deer as well. And there's probably a species or two that I'm forgetting. Yeah, that's it from me. If you've enjoyed it or learned anything, then please give me a thumbs up. It's all appreciated and helps me understand that the content I'm doing is worthwhile.